Hello everyone, how you doing? I trust you're having an excellent day. Today's class, we're still in our Python series, and basically, we're doing a project now, and still in cybersecurity analysis course. So we're doing a very simple project that explains all we've been learning about Python. At least major of these things we've been learning about Python. So you can create your own folder now. So what I did was to create my folder Python class, and inside Python class I created Python project. So try and see how you can do that now, and let's start in so that we can have a project for a project folder or directory, and we can be able to do one or two things inside it. So I don't think I have anything there now. Let me list. Yeah, there's nothing there for now. So this will be our first project. So in this first project, the type of project we're working on today is what we call a password logger, and then it can be able to know how many people have created failed login attempts. So we'll have a separate file to be able to check how many incorrect attempts that we're having today, or probably during the course of the week, or how you want to count it. So let us start now. The first thing we'll do is to create our file called failedlogins.txt, and don't forget to create files. How do you do that? You use word touch, then you use failed underscore logins.txt. Hope I didn't do the wrong thing. I think I wrote the wrong thing. I don't think so. I wrote list. So I made a mistake. I think it's typing on its own. Okay, failedlogins.txt. And then see. Okay, good. So I have that there. Failedlogins.txt. Alright, good. Now it's time for us to continue. We need to create another file, and the file we create now is the password logger.py. So this time around, we're not creating it like an empty file like touch. We want to create the file and be able to write our Python code inside. So Nano is what we use. Nano is like a simple text editor, an editor for writing code. So we can write our Python code inside, then run it. So we've been using Nano for quite a long time now. So we use Nano, and then we use the word password underscore logger.py. Alright, so I've opened up the interface for us. So let me just use so that we can, this is normally be run by password logger. So this one will not be run by the browser. Password logger.py. So this one will not run. This is a simple comment. So we're going to import getPass, and let me explain that quickly. So getPass basically is, so when we import the getPass, we are importing the getPass module, which provides a secure way to get passwords inbuilt from the user. So without displaying it on the screen, with getPass, we can be able to help the user to get the password, and you won't be able to see the password, right? So it's a module on its own that we're importing, and once we type the password, it's not going to show on the screen, just for security purposes. So we are using import getPass, Then the next thing we'll do now, we are also gonna do another one from, say, from date time import date time. So what does this mean to this one? Also, we are trying to import a module, and this module this time around is what we call the date time class from date time module. So we're importing the date time class from the date time module. And what is the function? It is used to get the current date and time. So it's basically for logging purposes. Now it's time for us to start some initialization. For initialization, we just set the correct password we want to use. So we select the correct underscore password. We want to set as a variable, and we put the values cyber 1, 2, 3. In the real world scenario, you can't use this password because it's too simple. This is just for an example. So this is a variable correct password. We are storing this word cyber 1, 2, 3 into the memory of this correct password. Okay, I think we've been able to understand that one before. Press enter. Now the attempts, our attempts also, we're going to start from 0, we're going to be counting from 0, we're going to be looping. Then the maximum attempts that we allow for the user is going to be 3. So this is that. Then we can now start off by writing our while loop. Now while we're going to say while the attempt, the attempt is the number of times the person is trying to log in. So let's start with that. Say while the attempt, and please be very careful with spelling, is less than the maximum attempts that you can be able to log in, because we set our maximum attempts to be 3. So as long as the attempts is less than the maximum attempts, then this is actually a control flow, and we are giving some instructions. So we need to put the semicolon and press enter. The next thing is to indent and then say user underscore input is equal to the get pass dot get pass. So this is a module that allows you to impute a password, and this time around we wanted that the password will not be the same. So that's why we're using that module. So enter your password. The next thing is, okay, we're still going to indent and say if our user password or user input, which is a variable now, is, and the value we are giving to it, if the user input is equal to the correct password, we are comparing user input with correct password. Correct underscore password. So if the user input that the user input is going to input his password. If it's equal to the correct password, what's the correct password? Correct password is cyber 1, 2, 3. So if the user types in the correct password, okay, then what should happen? That instructs you to print something. So let's indent this. It has to be under if statement. Print access granted. Okay, so that's the condition that, you know, that's the condition that the password is correct. So once it can be correct, you just print access granted, then you can do the break. So you can even write access granted, congratulations, that's if you want. Access granted, congratulations. So you set the break. Now, what if is not correct? What should happen? So you put the else statement. The else statement has to be under the if. We indented under the if. Be careful of this indentation, please. See, under the if we have else. We started with while. All of these things are still running under the while loop. So we have if statement here, then we have the break here. You know, just so easy to understand that way. So the next thing we want to now do now is say, what if it's not correct? What should happen? That's when we now come forth with the else statement. And the else statement now, the else statement now will now say, put your semicolon, then indent it also, then we say attempts. So we want to say if is not correct, then let it loop an attempt plus or equals to 1. So the attempt will, will increase plus or equals to 1, and we're going to bring out a print statement which we print, and we'll print out something. I will now print something here. But what we want to print, we want to make sure that we use the F strings to embed variable inside of it. So I put my F, then put the string, and in the string we want to write the fact that to say wrong password, okay, and now write the number of attempts that we have left. Attempts left, how do you calculate that? Is, so we have to take the variable, and the variable that we're using here is user a max attempt, max this one here, max underscore attempt is variable, max underscore attempts minus attempts. Then we close that. So I think that should be clear. Press enter. So it's now time to log in the failed attempt. Let me see if we can still see this. Minus. So yes, because I zoom the screen, so let me reduce the zooming so you can have a view of it. So this is what we've been writing, and if there's any mistake, let's view it properly. So remember, when we are doing our F string, we make sure that this other side, you can see the mistake now, and then we have this here. So max attempt minus attempt, so we put it is the variable here, the variable, we put it inside the F string. So the essence of what is going to happen is, if the user put in an input and the password is correct, it should just print access granted, congratulations, and break. But if it's not correct, what should you do? You should look it and just say, print wrong password, then attempt left will now be the maximum attempt minus the attempt. So that means if I'm written it once, you say that you have 2 more attempts, attempt left is 2, your password is wrong. That's what we want to do. So the next thing now is we want to log the field attempt. To log in the field attempt, so let's write that now. Log the field attempts. So to log in the field attempt, now remember where to log it in. To log it into that first file we created. That field underscore, I think it's field attempt underscore txt or field underscore attempt.txt, something like that. So this is where we start that. We now go with the word. Please watch my indentation properly. With open, then you put, so we have this now, and say, I think you know what the file is, field underscore logins dot txt, then comma of that, comma a. So this is your append, and then comma a as a log underscore file. So what does this mean? What does this mean? So this one now means that I think we've done something like that before, but we've not done it. This one means, when we say log in the field with open, this file, it opens the field login.txt, and then what it does is it opens it in the append mode. Then the with statement ensures that the file is automatically closed if the event occurs. So the file object is assigned to the variable log underscore file. That's what it does. So with open is to open up the field log underscore logins that we created at that time. Field underscore logins to txt. Then the a part is to append it. Then anytime there's a field login, to open it, store it there, and close it back. That's what we're gonna do. Open it, store it there, and close it back. So I think that one will be a little bit clear. Then we want to also set it that it should give us description of the date, the time, more details about the login. So what we do is we just let's just so we tell it now that log dot write the log dot file. Please be writing with me. Dot write. Then we have the f string now. F, then want to set the date time. Date time dot now. This is a function. Date time dot now is a function. So we have to do this, the function, and then minus field attempt, and also calling the variable attempt, then slash n. So let me explain what this means before we move forward. So we're almost done now. So this is one very important aspect also. And what it means is the date time dot now function, that's the current date and time that is obtained using the date time dot now function. So then the field attempt slash n use a string that indicates that the field attempt has occurred. So you're going to log it in with the attempt number, and slash n is a new line character. So as each log entry appears as a separate line, that is how to explain. The next part is to now say if the attempt is equal to comparing is equal to maximum underscore attempt, what should happen? Semicolon. So let's indent this. Just print out A access denied, too many failed attempts. So let's just explain this code. So let's save it, Control O, press enter. Before I Control X, just 19 lines. Let's explain it from the beginning. So we have the password logger.py. Then we are able to import get password. While the attempt is less than maximum attempt, the user input is equal to get passed or get passed. The essence of this is to just make sure that anytime the user puts in his password, the password will not be seen by anybody. It just show blank. Then if user input is equal to correct password, what should happen be, it should print access granted, congratulations, then break away. But else, if it's not correct, what should happen? The attempt should just keep looking, then to bring out the information, wrong password, and to count the number of failed attempts for you, max attempts minus number of attempts. Then to open up a file, just failed login.txt and append it as a log file, where it will now write the time and number of failed attempts, and the number, the time, the date, generally give us. So this will open the field login.txt is able to give us a lot of details about what's going on behind the scene. So Control X, let's now, so I think I can zoom the screen back so you can see it better now. That's too much. I think this is okay. So we go with Python password. Okay, just to be sure, let me be sure that I didn't make a mistake here. So we have Python 3 password underscore logger dot py. So it said enter the password. So I can remember the password, and the password is supposed to be the correct password is actually, what's the correct password again now? Correct password is cyber123. So let me make a mistake. I'm right, cyber. So you see, it's not showing anything. I press enter, attempt left is 2. So cyber12, attempt left is 1. If I do it again, cyber125, too many failed attempts. Can you see that? Now let me run that again. Then let me write the right password now. Cyber, can you see that we can't see access granted? So we cannot even see what is there. Now let's basically look at let's list this. So we have inside the project, we have failed login.txt, and we have this our password, logger.py. So let's check the content of that failed underscore logins .txt. So let's see if it records number of failed attempts. Can we see this now? It has recorded the number of failed attempts. So it tells me that failed attempt 1, look at the time, failed attempt 2, look at the time, failed attempt 3, look at the time, and giving some other details. So this is recording the number of failed attempts, and very useful in cybersecurity. As an analyst, you can try this project to be able to know number of failed attempts and how you can track, just for you to give you more information about who is actually trying to log in. So thank you for joining me for this class, and join me in the next class.